Well, I would like to content all settings. Well, Salam Habibi, how are you? I hope you are fine. It is me, Michaela Santa. I am here with you. Accordance with titles, yes, today we are roasting Maulana Abu Toha Adnan and the topic of Sahih Bukhari ayat Hadith number 5885. And now, here is my new podcast names here. Oh, what is my podcast name? Yes, Idul Azha Abu Toha Adnan roast in Idul Azha specials. And now, let's check the points. Here we could see the Maulana Abu Taha Adnan misinform us about here Hadith number 5885 where topic is about girls dressing and boys dressing. Now let's take at the moments. And here we can see uh, I am containing Idul Adha specials just because here May 28 would be Idul Adha in Bangladesh and May 27 would be Idul Adha in India. Okay. And now here is my source is YouTube Israel. Now let's check it. Okay. Now here we can see this points. And now I think it would be clear at the moment. If it is not clear, I will tell you. And here you can see, well, it is an video of Maulana Abu Taha Adnan where the topic is jeans and t-shirt generations girls. Well, if we marry jeans and t-shirt generation girls, hence our life would be in Jahannam. And on the other hand, here Maulana Abu Taha Adnan states that if we men would marry the burqa girls, our life would be Jannatul Firdaus. It is the points according with Maulana Abu Taha Adnan. Okay. Now, here I would see that it is almost 10%. Here I could see it is here 10% out of every hadith is 10%. Now let's check it. What is the entire hadith? Well, where is she? Well, now here we can see this sunnah.coms. Okay. Now here what is the statement of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Here we can see that Allah's messengers curse those men who are in amitude assume the manners of women, and those women who are ambiguous assume the manners of men. Okay. Now let's take it the moments. Oh, and we can see, now here we can see U.S. government has banned feminism starting June 1, 2026. Yes. Here we can see this points. It would be the best news if United States government would prohibit feminism in June 1, 2026 because feminism is just a carbon dioxide, but today's topic is about the toxic wokisms. Well, What is toxic Wokism? Toxic Wokism is the point to promote the agenda when women cannot wear the national progressive dress or national progressive manners, and man cannot contest national progressive dressing or national progressive manners. That is the definitions of Wokisms. And now here we can see the points. Well, now, what is the points of Maulana Abu Toha Adnan? Here, Maulana Abu Toha Adnan is that if I, a man, would marry and women's, where the women wear jeans pants and t-shirts, hence women's life would be in Jannah. That is the points of statement of Maulana Abu Toha Adnan. But what is the statement of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Here, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam's statement is different. Where Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam's statement is, when a man dressed like a woman and when women dress like a man, both of them would be cursed. If we are assuming only in the purpose of dresses. But the point is, here you could see that Maulana Abu Toha Adnan wear dressed like a woman. He wears a woman's cap. His beard was like a woman's niqab. He wears women's salwar kameez. But he did not mention the hadith at the points. Okay. Islam is official. Okay, yes, of course. Well, Jesus would be God, and Jesus would be Son of God in Christian mythologies. And here, I would explain that how the here Maulana Abu Toha Adnan hides the 90% of the hadith number 5885. And here, that is the moments. Okay. And well, now here we can notify this. In hadith number Sahih Bukhari hadith number 5885, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam states that he curses on the man who imitated like a woman, where here imitated is in the combinations of dressing and manners. That means it is clear Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam curses on the man who behaves like a woman. And now, in this point, here my today's moment is about the point when an Indian man, when an Indian Muslim boy would attend the examination in Mexican college, then what would happen in the points? And here I would mention the two moments. Here, manly velocity of yacht and women velocity of yacht as the explanation of the Sahih Bukhari 5885. Okay. Now let's check the moments. Well, now I hope. Okay. Oh well. Here is we could notify at the points. Ah, so no Muslim hairs. I can understand. Oh, now here we can see this points. Now let's check it. It is an Bangladeshi yacht with the velocity of 40 kilometer per hour. Okay. Now let's check it. Uh, just we have to add. It is Bangladeshi velocity, and it is Israeli yacht with the velocity of 216,000 kilometer per second. And now let's check it the moments. Well, accordance with Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam statements here, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam blessed on Nirmala Sitaramans because Nirmala Sitaramans wear sari. That is the statement of Maulana Abu Toha Adnan. Okay. Now let's check the points. Okay. Now here we can see this. What is the naval distance between Mumbai Indians to Mexican city of Mexico? I mean Mexican port of Mexico. That is almost 51,112.9 nautical miles. And what is the round figures? Here we contains the round figures about 94,662 kilometers. Okay. Now here we can see these points, and that is the significant momentums at the journey. And now let's contents and manly yachi. Well, it is about the manly. Okay. Now Israeli yacht with the speed of 216,000 kilometer per second. Well, now first of all, here I would mention what is the con of well, here I would mention that what is the con of Sahih Bukhari 5885. Okay. Now here we can see this the points. Well, Indian girls aspirants living in Mexican sea portal hostels, she want to arrive on Mumbai, the city of Maharashtra, the provincial state of India, at morning 8 o'clock, 1 second past. Hence, she want to depart from the following Mexican naval portal city at morning 8 o'clock. What is the case? June 21, 2026 for NWT examinations at the moment. And now, how much velocity of yacht she required? She requires, that is 94,662 kilometer per second. I mean, here we can say the state that it is almost 51,112.9 nautical mile per second at the points. Well, now let's check the moments. Yeah. Oh, sari is haram clothing. Well, according with some of Islamic experts, we can state that sari is an haram clothing, but Still, sari is an women cloth. And here we can see the spots. None of any man can wear sari in this moment if and only if he is not a feminine man. Okay. Now here you can see this point. And gender changing is a dangerous crime in United States of America. Well, and here now let's take points. If a woman wears sari, sari is Islam haram in Islamic mythology, but because of wearing sari, the women would be blessed by Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, according with the statement of Maulana Abu Toha Adnan, just because sari is only women cloth. Okay. Now let's take the points. Because sari exists only in Bangladeshi cultures or West Bengal culture. Okay. Now let's check. Coming to the moments. And here now the Indian boys living in Mexican portals contains the Yachi with the velocity of 260,000 km per second, made in Israel. And now, and he is a Muslim and he has to attend on the correct times in the NEET centers in Mumbai, the city of Maharashtra in India. And now that is the significant points. Well, now here we can see departure time is, what is the departure time? Departure time is morning 8 o'clock, June 21, 2026 at Indian times. And here arrival time would be what? Okay, now here we can see arrival time would be morning 8 o'clock, 0.43825 seconds past June 21, 2026 at Indian times. And now here we can set the moments. What is the time difference between Mumbai and Mexican naval portal city? Let's get the discussions. Okay. Now here we can assume that when it is morning 8 o'clock as Mumbai, it is evening 8 o'clock as in Mexican city. Well, it is morning 8 o'clock as in June 21, 2026 in Mumbai. It is evening 8 o'clock June 20, 2026 in Mexican cities. And here, now here we can see these points. In Mexican cities, the Indian boy depart from Mexican naval port with the departure time to be Mexican clock, Mexican time zone, evening 8 o'clock, June 20, 2026, and he arrived on morning 8 o'clock, 0.43825 seconds past, Indian time, June 21, 2026. Here travel time would be 0.43825 seconds. I repeat, the travel time would be 0.43825 seconds. That is the significant points as we could notify. Okay. And now Here we can see that is the significant moments. And here we are talking about the it is only possible if the following Indian Muslim boy living in uh, Mexican city to be naval port total city or near to Mexican Gulf contains the Israeli ERG with the velocity of 216,000 km per second. But now here we can see this point. This is the manly velocity. Now, what is womanly velocity? Here, Maulana Abu Toha Adnan can accept for man's. Here, I would show you. Okay. According with Sahih Bukhari, Hadith number 5885, it is clearly written that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the honorable Allah's messengers, curse on the man who behaves like a woman. And now, let's check the momentums at the points. Now, what is at the second stage that could be a dangerous moments? Okay. Okay. Now, it is the Bangladeshi Yachi with the velocity of 40 km per hour. Okay. Now, what is the significant issues? Here would be the significant issues that I can mention at the points. Okay. That water is clean to be in Bangladesh. Okay. Now here we can see someone state that I cannot understand a word he is saying. Well, now probably you cannot understand what he is saying because he is saying in Bengali. Okay. Now let's check the points. Come on the momentums as we could notify. That is as significant issues we can notify. Well, here naval distance is 94,662 kilometers and Bangladeshi Yachi velocity is 40 km per hour. Hence, it is the significant moments that is almost 90 travel time would be naval time would be 98 days 14 hours and here 33 minutes. Okay, now let's check the points. Here departure time would be okay, let's check it. What is the departure times? Departure time would be here as an Indian time, morning 8 o'clock, June 21, 2026. Or I would say, here morning 6 o'clock, June 21, 2026. Okay. Now here we can say the points. What is 21 sum by 98? That is 119. Okay. Now let's check the moments. May महीने departure time is month May. May month contains here 31 days. June month contains 30 days. July month contains 31 days. That is 91. 119 subtracted by 91 is, it is clear 28. That would be the The arrival date would be August 28, 2026. Okay. Now here we can say about the points. Well, departure time is morning 6 o'clock. What is 14 hours from morning 6 o'clock? That is that is 2 hours from evening 6 o'clock. That means night 8 o'clock. Okay. Now here we can see the points. Departure time would be morning 8 o'clock, June 21, 2026. Here arrival time would be night 8 o'clock, August 28, 2026. Okay. And here we could notify here RENEET exam 2026 would be definitely missed on at the 98 days earlier, and that is the significant negative effects at the moment. And here when here the Indian Muslim man contains Bangladeshi Yachi with the velocity of 40 km per hour with the driving with here naval distance to be 51,112.9 nautical miles, and here that is the significant negative points, or that is the dangerous moments. Why it is just because it is an womanly velocity. It is velocity like women's, and here 98 days 14 hours 33 minutes earlier we have missed the RENEET exam 2026. And here the honorable Indian Muslim aspirants of Indian Muslim boy aspirants of RENEET cannot be doctor in any governmental medical college in India, and that is the significant problematic at the moment. Okay. And here now it is the moment at the points. But Maulana Abu Toha Adnan would not mention if Muslim man can drive 40 km per hour. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam would curse him. It is not mentioned in the statement of Maulana Abu Toha Adnan. Why? Because our Maulana Abu Toha Adnan is an anti-science. Okay. Now let's check it. What is the next point? And here we can see this. Now let's check it. What is the irony? The irony is when a man can drive 51,112.9 nautical mile with Bangladeshi Yachi with the velocity of 40 km per hour, it is not problematic for Maulana Abu Toha Adnan, but it is problematic for Maulana Abu Toha Adnan if and only if a woman can wear jeans and t-shirts. Well, that is the problematic of Maulana Abu Toha Adnan. Hence we could see and that is against the progressive traditions. Well, a progressive women's, a progressive South Asian women can wear jeans pant and t-shirt. That is the culture of progressive women in South Asia. And now it is the progressive traditions. But according with Maulana Abu Adnan, if I a man would marry a woman who wear jeans and t-shirt, then my life would be in Jannah. But when a woman can marry a man who contains the Yachi made in Bangladesh with the velocity of 40 km per hour in lieu of Israeli Yachi with the velocity to be 216,000 km per second. Well, still here the following women lives would be in heavens accordance with Prophet Muhammad. I apologize. Accordance with Maulana Abu Toha Adnan. That is the biggest hypocrisy. Oh my Adonai. Yeah, here it would be like a mix of Hindi words and English words. Okay, that would be hypocrisy. Oh, well, both pronouns is same as the meanings. Okay, now here let's check the moments. And here, coming back to Nirmala Sitaraman. Okay. Now, here we can say the points. Well, when a Muslim boy contains a board with the velocity of 40 km per hour, Nirmala Sitaraman would not contains any GST on him. That is good for Maulana Abu Toha Adnan. Whence the following Indian Muslim boy aspirants is going to attend the re-NEET exam in Mumbai, the city of Maharashtra provincial state of India. And here we can see this, that is the significant point at the moment. Well, now, and here we can see these points. A women's, Indian Muslim boy aspirants contains Yachi with the velocity of 40 km per hour. Here, 40 km per hour is a women's velocity, where 216,000 km per second is a man velocity. But still, here Maulana Abu Toha Adnan could not get any problems if man contains women Yachi with the man contains Yachi with women's velocity, but not containing a man velocity. Okay. Now here we can see that is the moments at the significant journeys at the points. Okay. Let's check the second points. Here second moment is what would be the kinetic powers. Here velocities I have mentioned. Kinetic velocities I have mentioned. Travel time I have mentioned. But now that is the points that why I did not mention kinetic powers. Okay. Here we can see when man's Yachi's kinetic powers is womanly, but the Yachi is not manly in kinetic powers. That is not problem for Maulana Abu Toha Adnan. But The problem for Maulana Abu Toha Adnan is here women wear jeans and t-shirt to marry a man. And now that is the biggest irony because here Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam stated in Sahih Bukhari ayat number 5885, and what is the reference? And here we can see reference is book number 77, Hadith number 102. Okay, book number it is clearly mentions Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam cards two genders where men behave like women and women behave like men. Now here that is the significant points. Women's jeans t-shirt Maulana Abu Toha Adnan have mentioned, but man's womanly velocity is not mentioned by the statement of Maulana Abu Toha Adnan. What is the reasons? The reason is this: if Maulana Abu Toha Adnan would mention the complete hadith, hence her acceptance in Muslim society would be over and out. And now let's check the momentums at the points. Okay. Now here we can see that is the points to be notified. And here, well, yes. Now let's check it. Let's assume that here, let's assume that two of the yachi contains the same weight. Bangladeshi yachi's weight is 120,000 kilograms and Israeli yachi contains weight of 120,000 kilograms. Okay. Now let's take the points. What I can describe, it is almost 12 multiplied by 10 to the power 4 kilograms. Okay. And now here here the calculations of kinetic powers would be different between here Bangladeshi yachis and Israeli yachis, where Israeli yachis velocity is 260,000 km per second. That means 72% velocity of light, and Bangladeshi yachis velocity is almost 40 km per hour. First of all, let's calculate the Israeli yachis at the moment. That is the significant journeys. Okay. Just for 2 moments, and here. Okay. Now, what is the statistic energy of Israeli yachis? Okay. Now, let's check what is the equations of statistic energy of Israeli yachis. That is, weight of Israeli yachis multiplied by speed of velocity squared. Okay. We know speed of velocity is 3 multiplied by 10 to the power 8 meter per second. Hence, here velocity squared is 9 multiplied by 10 to the power 16. Okay. Now, what is the calculations of Israeli yachis statistic energy? That is here 12 multiplied by 10 to the power 4 multiplied by 9 multiplied by 10 to the power 6. Okay. What is 6 sum by 4? That is 20. And now let's check it. What is 12 multiplied by 9? That is 108. Hence, The statistic energy of Israeli yachts is 108 multiplied by 10 to the power 20 joules. Okay. And here we can say the points. Let's check it. What is the kinetic powers? The kinetic power is the statistic energy of Israeli yacht divided by naval time of Israeli yachts enter multiple by bracket of lambda subtract by 1. Okay. And now let's check it. What is the Israeli yacht chase value of lambda subtract by 1 when the velocity is 72% velocity of light? Let's check the points. We know the equations of lambda is 1 divided by square root of bracket of 1 subtract by bracket of b square divided by c square. I mean velocity of Israeli yacht square divided by velocity of light square. Okay. Now let's check the points. What is the calculations of lambda? That is 1 divided by bracket of square root of bracket of 1 subtract by bracket of 0.72 square, enter bracket close. That is 1.44, I apologize, that is 1.440977. Okay. And now let's check it. What is lambda subtract by 1? That is 0.440977. Okay. And here we can see this points. Well. Now let's check it. What are the calculations of kinetic powers of Israeli yachts? That is 0.440977 multiplied by 108 multiplied by 10 to the power 20 divided by, okay, here we can see this points 0.43825. And what is the calculations? Calculation is, bracket of 0.440977 bracket of 108. I apologize. Here we can see bracket of 0.440977 multiplied by 108 divided by 0.43825. Enter bracket close. Enter multiplied by 10 to the power 20. And now here we can see that what is the significant velocities at the points. Okay. Now here we can see this moments at the journeys 108 multiplied by 0.440977 divided by here 0.43825 and here enter multiple by 10 to the power 20. Okay. Now let's check it. What is the kinetic powers? Okay. Now let's check it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Now it is almost 10,868 quadrillions watts. Okay. Now here we can see this points. I apologize. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. sevenths. And now it is here 10.867 multiplied by 10 to the power 21 watts. That is 10.867 quadrillion megawatts. And now that is the significant journeys at the points. Well, this is uh, the manly powers of what? This is the This is the kinetic powers of Indian Muslim boy aspirants of NEET's personal yachts made in Israeli with the velocity of 260,000 km per second with the naval distance to be 51,112.9 nautical miles. But now, let's check the moments. What is the Bangladeshi yachts? Well, what if... Okay. Now, let's check it. What if the following Indian Muslim boy aspirants of NEET contains the personal yachts with the velocity of 40 km per hour. Now here we know this naval distance is what? Okay. Now here we can say the points. Well, naval distance is here 51,112.9 nautical miles. That means almost velocity is 94,662 kilometer. Okay. Now let's check it. Here is a significant momentums at the points. Now let's but Bangladeshi yacht's velocity is 40 km per hour. Hence, what is 94,662 divided by 40? That is almost 2366 hours. Okay. Now let's check the moments. Well, now here we can see these points. Here, well, the calculations of well, here we can see the calculations of kinetic powers of Bangladeshi yachts would be different of the calculations of kinetic powers of Israeli yachts, because Bangladeshi yachts kinetic powers calculation would be in the Newtonian kinetic powers method. Okay, and now let's check it the moments. What is going on? Come on there. Okay, and here we can see there is points. Now, what is half of weight of Bangladeshi yachts with the velocity of 40 km per hour? The following Muslim boy aspirant contents. That is almost here 6 multiplied by 10 to the power 4 kilogram as a half of weights. Okay, and here the equations of kinetic power would be half of weight of Bangladeshi yachts multiplied by naval distance square divided by naval time cube. Okay, and now it is the significant momentums at the points. Well. Now what is here 94,662? I will guess what is 94,662 kilometers. That is 94,662,000. I will guess that is 94,662,000 meters. Okay. Now here we can see this points. It is almost at the significant moments. What is 94,662 square? That is here. Hence, we can state that here. What is naval distance square? That is 8,900,000 I apologize. Let me clear. Naval distance square is 8,960,894,244 multiplied by 10 to the power 6 meter square as a naval distance square. Okay. Now, what is the trouble time cube? That is here. Well. Now let's check it. What is travel time? That is 2366.55 hours. 55 hours. That means here naval time cube is 2366.55 cube multiplied by 36 cube multiplied by 10 to the power 6 second cube, and that is the significant points. Okay, now here is the clear cut points we could see. Well, now let's check it. What would be happening at the points? As in Bangladeshi moments. Here we can see this points 6 multiplied by 10 to the power 4. It will be 60 tons as a half of weights. Multiplied by here 94 66 2 000 square. Now here we can see these points divided by what? 2366.55 multiplied by 3600, and here we could notify at the moments to the powers what? 3, and here we could see that is the moments. Well, that is almost 0.8695 watts. Okay, that is the kinetic powers of Bangladeshi ERCs with the velocity of 40 km per hour. Okay, now here we can see these points. Here we could see, well, as Indian Muslim boy aspirants contains here 10.867 quadrillion megawatts. Now here we go. When we are discussing about Indian Muslim boy aspirants personal ERCs, here we could notify 10.867 quadrillion megawatt is an masculine kinetic powers. On the other hand, 0.8695 watt is feminine kinetic powers. Now, here we can set the points. What is the statements of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in Sahih Bukhari, Hadith number 5885? Well, here we can say that the points. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam curse on the man that who contains yachis with the velocity with the kinetic powers to be 0.8695 watts in lieu of 10.867 quadrillion megawatts when the naval distance is 51,112.9 nautical miles. And here we can see the points. But it is not when an Indian Muslim boy aspirant contains yachis with the kinetic powers of 0.8695 watts in lieu of 10.867 quadrillion megawatts. That is not problematic for Maulana Abu Toha Adnan. But what is problematic for Maulana Abu Toha Adnan? Why women wear jeans and t-shirts? Okay. Now here you can see this points. When women wear jeans and t-shirts, okay, accordance with Prophet, that is the haram, accordance with both of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and Maulana Abu Toha Adnan. Okay, let's find. But now, when a man, I mean Indian Muslim boy aspirants contest an ERC with the kinetic power to be 0.8695 watt in lieu of 10.867 quadrillion megawatts. Well, that is haram with the accordance with the statement of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But that is halal accordance with Maulana Abu Toha Adnan. Now here we can see this points. In that moment, we are roasting Maulana Abu Toha Adnan because she is spreading Islam is just significant negative effective for the sovereignty of United States of America. But now, as a Muslim, we could see the Maulana Abu Toha Adnan mislead the here entire hadith spoken by Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And now that is the significant dangerous points. Okay. And now let's take the significant points. Okay. When the ERC with the velocity of 40 km per hour would be here. Okay. Now let's take it. Okay. Now here we can see the points. Now, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam could see words here I mentioned, but first of all, let's see here what is the fuel. Now the ERC with the velocity of 260,000 km per second contains the fuel to be artificial solar arc reactor with a temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius. But on the other hand, the ERC with the velocity of 40 km per hour contains fuel system like petrol. And now here is the momentum at the points. And now here I can mention at the moment as some significant points. Well, now let's calculate the ERC with the velocity of 72% velocity of lights. Okay, now let's check it. First of all, now we can write 108 well multiple by 0.440977 multiple by 10 to the power 20. Okay, now here we can see this ones. added with the kinetic energies. Okay, and now let's check it. What is the points? That is here specific heat of kinetic energy would be. I apologize. Specific heat of artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius would be 15,408 joule per kilogram per Kelvin. And here temperature I have mentioned. Okay. Now let's check it. And here, now what is the fuel weights? That is 4.65 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 652 kilograms of artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius, of which okay, of which year cheese? It is the following year cheese. Okay, now let's check it. Well, what about this year cheese? Where kilometer per hours? It contains 40 kilometer per hours. Now let's check it the moments. What about the calculations? Here calculations contains the significant points. Well, now here we can see what is the kinetic energies. That is, here we can see 6 multiplied by 10 to the power 4. Here we can state the points. That is almost 40,000 square. Okay, 40,000 square divided by what? Yeah, and now let's check it. 360 100 cube. Okay, now let's check it the moments. And here now let's check it. What is the points? It is here we get the kinetic energies. Now let's check what is divided by 2 joule per kilogram per Kelvin as an specific heat of petrols multiplied by 50 degrees Celsius highest temperature difference multiplied by 0.778. And now let's check it. What is the points? That is almost 27 liters of petrols. Okay. Now here we can see the points. Here fuel weight to be 6. I apologize. The fuel weight to be 4.65 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 652 kilograms of artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius is the masculine fuel system. On the other hand, here fuel system would be 27 liters petrol is the feminine fuel system. And here we could see what is the moments at the points. Here we could see the moments at the points. Now here I can mention it. Here, Sahih Bukhari, book number 77, Hadith number 102. It is clearly written here, man, uh, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam curse on a man who behave like women and curse on women who behave like a man. Now let's take the points. Now what is the irony? Here we could see. Irony is when an Indian Muslim boy aspirants contents Yachi with the fuel system of 27 liters petrol in lieu of fuel system of 4.65 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 652 kilograms of artificial solar arc reactor with the 10 to the power 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius is not problem for Maulana Abu Toha Adnan. But what is the problem for Maulana Abu Toha Adnan? Man wedding a woman who wears jeans and t-shirts. Now what's wrong with Maulana Abu Toha Adnan? We could not understand. Okay. Now someone say hi. Salam. How are you all? I hope you are fans. And here we could see that is the significant points, and that is the moments as we could see. Okay. Now let's find out what is the terminologies. Well, now here we can see these moments. Who is the masculine woman? Masculine woman is the woman who to be financial minister who step no GST for Yachi with the velocity of 216,000 km per second, but for 40% GST on Yachi with the velocity of 40 km per hour. And who is the feminine women to be financial minister who can state 40% GST on Yachi with velocity of 216,000 km per second and no GST for Yachi with the velocity to be 40 km per hour. Now here you can see this points. Now what is the ironies and the points? In minds, Maulana Abu, here we can see this, masculine women to be financial ministers can wear business casual shirt and business casual jeans. Yes. But if I, a man, would wear the women to be financial minister who wears business casual jeans and business casual shirt, my life would be turned in accordance with Maulana Abu Toha. But on the other hand, my life would be in Jannat if I wear a financial minister to be women who wear burqa or salar kameez or sari. Well, salar kameez and burqa is halal for women and sari is haram for women, but still sari is the feminine cloth. Okay. And here accordance with Maulana Abu Toha Adnan, here we can see our life would be Jannat if I would marry here the women to be financial ministers who establish 40% GST on Yachi with the velocity of 72% velocity of light, and no GST on public boat with the velocity of 40 km per hour. And that is the significant irony we could see from Maulana Abu Toha Adnan. And now, recently here I have contents and issues for washroom in 10 minutes out of what? Out of here 1 hour 10-minute live streams. And here I think I have missed the several points to mention about the Hadith to be Sahih Bukhari 5886. See you then. Khuda Hafiz. Love you. And now